Act 27. 27, 28. Possibly because of being familiar with another of Malta's harbours, the mariners did not recognize the land as Malta even in daylight. The island's largest and best-known harbour is at Valletta, 13 kilometres 8 miles of St. Paul's Bay. Act 27. 39. Along the western side of St. Paul's Bay, there are two inlets. Probably at one of these, the sailors hoped to beach the boat but were unsuccessful, the reason for the failure according to the literal Greek text being their having fallen around into a place of two seas. This may mean that the ship struck a place where two seas met or a shoal washed on each side by the sea. In W. The Verslo textoi acute miritra longo, man 303. Today there are no vipers indigenous to Malta. Great changes have taken place since the 1st century CE, whereas now Malta is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, with about 1,280 persons per square kilometres 3,330 per square mi. Extensive wooded areas may have existed there in Paul's time. The population increase would have had a marked effect on the habitats of wildlife. This could easily have caused all vipers to disappear, as was the case in Arran, an island off the coast of Scotland. As late as 1853, however, a viper is reported to have been seen near St. Paul's Bay. Mammon. Sea riches. Mamre possibly, well fed. 1. An Amorite chieftain who, along with his brothers Anna and Eshcol, supported Abraham in defeating King Chedorlaomer and his allies. The basis for their support was evidently the confederacy into which they had entered with Abraham. GE 14. 13, 24. 2. A place generally identified with Ramat el Khalil, about 3 kilometers 2 miles of Hebron, but thought by some to be farther to the W, in harmony with Genesis 23. 17. See Machpelah. It was the principal place of residence for Abraham and, at least for a time, for Isaac. In the nearby cave of Machpelah, they and their wives as well as Jacob and Leah were eventually buried. GE 13. 18. 35. 27. 49. 29-33. 50. 13. The area is well watered with numerous springs. There was a grove of big trees in Mamre in Abraham's time, and here he built an altar to Jehovah. GE 13. 18. Under one of such trees, he entertained the angels prior to the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. GE 18. 1-8 Here, too, Jehovah's promise was made to him of a son by Sarah. GE 18. 9-19 From a point near Mamre, it was possible for Abraham to see all the way down to Sodom and there behold the thick smoke billowing up as a result of the fiery destruction of that area. GE 19. 27-29. In the area presently identified with Mamre, large trees, usually oaks, have received historical attention from Joseph's time down to the present day. Over the centuries shrines have been set up, usually in connection with an ancient tree presumed to be the one under which Abraham spoke with the angels. Herod the Great built a stone wall around such a traditional site. After his mother-in-law visited the area in the 4th century CE, Emperor Constantine had a basilica erected there. Thereafter the Muslim conquerors also venerated the area. Man. The highest form of earthly life and a product of the Creator, Jehovah God. Jehovah formed the man out of dust from the ground, blew into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man came to be a living soul. GE 2. 7. 1 Co 15. 45 After Adam was created and after he named the animals, Jehovah caused a deep sleep to fall upon him. And while he slept, God took one of Adam's ribs and used it to make a woman. Therefore, when she was presented to the man, Adam could say, "This is at last bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." He called her woman, Ishmael, because from man this one was taken. GE 2. 21-23 Adam later gave her the name Eve, meaning living one. GE 3. 20. A number of Hebrew and Greek terms refer to man. A middle dottum means man. Human. Earthling man. Mankind generic. Ish, man. An individual. A husband. Inaush, a mortal man. Jehovah, an able-bodied man. Zamidl.car, ml. A few other Hebrew words are also sometimes translated man. The Greek anthromidl.pos means man. Mankind generic. Amidl.na, a man. A male person. A husband. Testifying to man's creation by Jehovah God, the Apostle Paul told the Athenians. He made out of one man every nation of men, to dwell upon the entire surface of the earth. Acts 17:26. Hence, all nations and races have a common origin. Adam and Eve were created toward the end of the sixth creative day. Ge 1:24-31. There are no actual records of ancient man, his writing, agriculture, and other pursuits, extending into the past before 4026 BCE. O textoi acute miritra longo. Man 304. The Bible reveals that man's original home was a garden in Eden. Ge 2:8. See Eden number 1. Its indicated location is relatively near the place of man